Good evening, race fans. We are back at it for the Tuesday Night Thunder presented by Martin Sports. As always on Tuesday night, these tour night drivers, they're going to beat and bang. Maybe leave a little bit of a framework out there. I was going to say fenders, but these cars don't have it. Joined by always my good buddy, Mr. Chris Carroll. Chris, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good, man. Looking at another one tonight. This looks like a good race. These cars don't look like they're handling very good out there.
They did. They look to be a handful here. And it's funny at a track like this. This is a very, very, very fast track for these type of cars. As we see Mr. Adam Thompson top of the board qualifying. See if we can jump on board with somebody actually turning laps. We did get in here a little bit late. I was talking to my little boy before coming in here. Got kind of lost time a little bit. Steven Rogers, newcomer to the series here in the number 89 machine. Gonna see what he can do with this East-West modified here. Coming around for lap number 1. New Hampshire tonight, Carol. We didn't even touch on that yet. Mile track, flat, but the draft is crazy here. Steven Rogers was P6.
Yeah, these cars around here are going to be more than a handful. There's going to be really ugly passes out there. I think it's going to get entertaining, and we're going to get a show here, Tanner Marr.
As these boys are finishing up their qualifying effort, Brandon Mettler coming around for lap number 2. Let me get my microphone closer to me. Carol, let's see if we can pull up your keys to victory here tonight. And we'll get this switched over right here and get our keys to victory up. And the floor is yours, brother.
Well, we talked to some of the boys before the race tonight, and they were saying that tires are going to be a factor. The car is building tight on basically every run they did. They're going to be fighting for the middle and the bottom lane tonight, it sounds like. And, you know, we got a track with no lines down the back and no lines really getting into the corners. So, I mean, they're going to be fighting for the middle of the track. They're going to be fighting for the same real estate getting in. You know, you don't know where the other guy is. Qualifying is super important tonight, being that it's a track position kind of race. You're not going to run your car from the back of the field to the front just on sheer speed. It's really hard to pass out there. There's actually a draft at New Hampshire, Tanner. They go down the back stretch full speed, down the front stretch at full speed, and they're picking up a little draft. So it's going to be interesting to see if guys can get away from other guys on tire wear or whether they'll just be stuck together in a big pack. We got fuel run tonight is about 45 to 50 laps, and that's maximum, and we got a 100-lap race. So when and where are they going to pit for fuel? When and where are they going to pit for tires? It's all going to factor in at the end of the race.
I see that fuel run, 45 to 50 laps, and that just stares at me, right? Because a 100-lap race, I mean, basic math, even in Kentucky, 2 times 50 is 100, right? So you can make this a one-stop race, but you got to make it to lap 50. And now, we've been to New Hampshire numerous times in these cars. You're talking to a previous winner at New Hampshire in these cars, but we won't talk about that, you know. But fuel mileage was always a part of the strategy. I lucked into it last time, I'll be totally honest. I was a fourth-place car, hit the fuel strategy on the head, and walked into one, basically. You know, it's kind of snuck in the back door, but we'll take it that way. Because they're hard to get, right? So fuel mileage will be a factor tonight.
I disagree with people that always say, oh, you back into wins. I mean, if you play your cards right, sometimes they're gambling. You know, we're gamblers out there with tires and fuel and all the stuff we have to do. But, I mean, if you're in a position to win, I don't think anybody backs into a win. They just played their cards and the cards came up theirs, you know. But you still got to do all the other stuff, Tanner. In the meantime, you still got to run your car around there clean, not beat it up.
Chess game. 100 laps of chess game out here, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's so many other things. You gotta play a tune on that wheel and pedals to make that thing go to victory lane, whether you catch that break or not.
That is a very good point, Mr. Carroll. Let's get that grid rocking and rolling. Mr. Steven Rogers, brand new face to the Crooked Line Racing Series. It's going to be running Mondays and Tuesdays that I know of right now, maybe even Wednesday nights. But Steven Rogers put it on the pole with a 30.351 at number 89. Adam Thompson was talking to him in practice. He did not sound super confident, but got some really good speed there with this 2 laps qualifying, representing 3 Watt Esports. He's sitting P2. Kyle Danick sitting 3rd. Brandon Mettler 4th. And Stephen T. Johnson, number 17, starting P5.
Outside of row 3, we got Brad Carpenter. He's well known in the series. He's been running these cars a long time. And Caleb Thompson's been with us for a while now. We got Zach Murphy. He's a distinguished driver out there. He's been around for a long time. And Derek Stanley as well. And Keith McGillivray. I love how you gave me that one. I know you can't say that name.
Oh,
But,
just always Keith Mack. Keith Mack, man.
Keith Mack.
Well,
We got Larry Bell on row 5 and Scott Bryant. I'm not familiar with Scott, but he's out there on the outside of row 6.
as we're trying to get the thing to go down for us. There we go. Starting 14th, it's the kid, the young gun, Mr. Brody Mears. We forgot Alex C. Harris starting 13th. Joshua Vermillion 15th. Brian Zimmerman's going to be starting dead last. He was last week's winner. Chris Clark representing Top Hat / DTR Racing, and Jason Bauer in 18th. As I just realized I have the chat still on, so I got to turn that off. We're rookies over here.
I'm a rookie. Yeah, I don't know what excuse you got.
1 second here. I forgot I did it because I wanted to tell them something really quick, and we forgot to disable it. So we got it now, folks. We do apologize for that. But yeah, Mr. Brian Zimmerman starting dead last night because he was last week's winner. That is scary to me.
Yeah, a lot of people think I think they're racing for position out here, but I really think this is a strategy race tonight at New Hampshire. It's so hard to pass. I think you got to do something different than everyone else.
As green flag is out in the air, Steven Rogers gets a great launch, but so does Adam Thompson to the outside. They're going to be double file as they go on through the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that high line. Look at it's coming in early. Thompson's got a huge run on the top there. And the bottom line, I don't know, with the rubber not being laid down, it doesn't look like there's as much grip down there.
The track does look very green. There's not a whole lot of rubber on this track. I see that. The middle groove has it as yellow flags out in the air, and it looks like a big one. Just from what SDK's lighting up to me, it looks like a big one. It's telling me Joshua Vermillion first, but then there's a gap between the second wreck. So there may have been 2 incidents here, Carol. Let's see what happens. I don't think this one brought out a caution, if even anything happened here. Oh, a big stack up, people trying to get through the gears. They look all good there. Let's go look and see what happened to Brad Carpenter here. Hopefully SDK is not telling us lies here. Ooh. No incident there, though. Oh, there it is. 17, Stephen T. Johnson. And the 31 of Brad. Oh, my goodness gracious. Caleb B. Thompson involved.
Yeah, bad luck for a few guys out there. 4 or 5 guys caught up in that.
That's a tough break there. Let's see. Does Brad come down, or does the 17 look like 17 may have just overshot the corner a little bit, gotten there a little hot? Let's see what happens here. He's showing the nose.
Yeah, I don't think Carpenter knew he was there.
I don't think Carpenter knew he was that tight to him. That's a tough one.
17 cars, Keith, correct?
17 car is Stephen T. Johnson, I do believe I heard tonight.
I thought I got him mixed up there. I guess Keith is in the 55.
Yes, sir. So got a few takers down pit road. Well, all right, it's all 4 that were actually got a piece of that caution. They're gonna bring it down.
They are trying to get to lap 50. It looks like, Tanner. But they must be real tight on fuel if they're coming down this early to get fuel.
Well, what we have on our key to victory? 45 to 50, was it?
Yeah,
right
we're 3 laps in, so that buys them a little bit of whatever they got to do to get there.
That's wiggle room right there, right? When it's that close, you got to make it to 50. And you heard 45 lap. You can about 45 laps to 50 laps for a fuel tank. I mean, just get a little bit extra, and that
if they're willing to give up that track position for fuel, that tells you how important it is.
I believe 3 of them were in a wreck, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Scott Bryant got anything in this. I think it was just a fuel call for him. He had an 8-second stop, so probably just whatever fuel they burnt off, pacing around the track, and then the lap they did, which, I mean, it don't sound like a lot, folks, I know, but I promise you it adds up.
We got Mettler hanging out there in second place. He had a good run. He's been running really good the last month, Tanner. In every league he runs in, he's up front. He's been contending for wins. I think that's a guy. We should do our picks tonight before we get this started.
All right. I'm gonna throw you for a loop. I'm gonna pick first this time. I'm going 29 car, Zach Murphy. Currently sitting P5.
You're going with Zach Murphy. I think tonight, I'm gonna go with Adam Thompson. He's running up front. He looked really good out of the gate there.
Green flag back out in the air already. Look at them all stacking up, fanning out, trying to get every position they can on these restarts. That's a solid pick with Adam Thompson. I mean, He started outside pole, and we saw that outside lane really work for him on the initial start of the race. Now the top two have kind of broken away from the pack here, but that was maybe a product of single file restarts, so lines kind of checking up. As I do want to look back to the field a little bit. Remember, we got to keep tabs on Mr. Brian Zimmerman, already up to 12th spot. Now, granted, he passed 4 guys that was in the wreck, but still kept the 28 car clean, made it through that. He is going to be a contender to watch. And, oh, I'm seeing an unscheduled pit stop for Brad Carpenter.
Yeah, I heard black flag over the radio. I can hear these guys talking in the server here, and he asked for a black flag cleared, and I didn't hear a response. So it looks like he's serving that black flag.
The race control did not deem it necessary to clear the black flag. That's going to be a tough break for Brad. Going to have to keep tabs on where he comes out, as it's definitely something that he has to stop in a pit box for. Hey, that's going to be a lap right there. Leader's going by already.
Yeah, we got Mettler really putting some pressure on Thompson here up at the front, and Steven Rogers just kind of chilling there in third place, watching he's got the best seat in the house, and Mettler wants that lead, Tanner. He is pushing that 71 out front.
I'm curious what happened to Brad and Caleb B. Thompson. Another unscheduled stop, so another black flag. But you are right. Mettler's hanging right there with the 71. And now, I'll be honest, being here at New Hampshire as the leader in these cars, it's not ideal because the draft, it is just strong enough to keep that car right there behind you. And, I mean, we're seeing it right here. Eye test, it never fails us, right? 15 is right up on the 71's back bumper. Looking to the outside here. Adam, though, he knows. He don't want to give up that outside. That's how he got the lead. Close the door.
I got a question for you, Tanner. I'm not too experienced in these cars. Is Mettler saving fuel behind Thompson there?
I doubt it. I bet it looks just from the eye test like these two are going all out right now. At a track like this, you're on the throttle so much that it really is hard to save fuel. You actually heard him lift and then get back on the throttle right then. He's burning that fuel right now. He is digging right now, right there on the back of the 71.
He may be just playing a strategy to try and get them out ahead of everybody.
Absolutely.
And make it a 2-car race as well. If they can make it 50, I mean, I don't know how many of these guys. I mean, tonight we got to look at the guys in the back too. They're going to be hanging out there, maybe saving some fuel and making sure they can go 50. Maybe these guys can't. I mean, there's a lot of narratives. There goes Mettler for the lead on the bottom.
Battle for a race lead. Can the bottom stick here? 71 goes up really high. He's up in the other groove. You see where the concrete changes colors there. Got a lot of grip. Almost gets the outside wall. Adam Thompson, though, high side rider. He has that momentum flowing. Advantage to the 71 on the high side.
Mettler sent it down in there and cleared him.
He will get clear of the 71. So new face out front. Brandon Mettler of BAM Racing Videos puts the 15 car out front. And now he gets to feel the effects of somebody right there behind him, shoving him off the cliff down in turn 1.
Yeah, we got the 89 of Rogers just hanging out there, licking his chops, looking for the lead here too. And yeah, that brought the other guys back into it. They were falling back a little tiny bit. And there's O'Danick, the champ, hanging out in 4th. Tanner, you know, he's quiet till the end. So we got a really interesting race up in the top 5. Your pick sitting there in 5th. And we got ourselves a race in New Hampshire.
O'Danick had the misfortunes at the season opener last week at Iowa. Remember, hit the incident limit, got a black flag, but I think he still ended up battling back to like a P8 finish. But I know he was disappointed in that, so I looked for a 21 car to be bad fast here tonight. But yeah, we did. We saw the top 2. They broke away a little bit, had a little bit of breathing room, wiggle room behind them, right? But the second they stepped out and started battling each other, man, oh man, that real estate, it closed up quick. And that just shows right there, the second you get side-by-side battling somebody, you are basically just allowing whoever it is behind you to throw their name into the hat as well.
Yeah, we got to watch these guys up front. We could throw a blanket over the top 5 here. They're hanging out, going at it. Any mistake here, and they're going to lose their spot. And we get another group behind them. It kind of looks like Talladega. There's a few different groups.
Heath Mack is currently leading the second group, but does have a hard charge in. Who is that? Oh, that's Caleb B. Thompson a lap down. So Caleb B. Thompson has already made his way up through the field somewhat, right? He came off pit road as they were going by. 04 is trying to get up there and get a lap back as him and Brad Carpenter, currently the only 2 scored 1 lap down.
Well, make a note of Thompson passing people here. If he gets that lap back and he's able to make passes and the other guys can't, that might be something he can use to his advantage. And the other group I got to look back at some of the guys that got caught in the wreck, and I see Brian Zimmerman, last time I looked, was around 6 seconds behind these guys. So is he saving fuel?
Oh, I
Can these
guarantee
guys
it.
not make it on fuel? What's going on here? We know Zimmerman will get there to the end. He's a master at saving fuel. So I mean, we this is going to play out, and we're going to see what happens here.
It's hard to tell.
It's really.
It didn't sound like it. It did not sound like you saved fuel right there. But I'll tell you what's one thing that's kind of sucks about New Hampshire, right? You see, you got different clusters of cars here. Everybody's single filed out. That kind of makes the chances for a caution a little bit slimmer, right? And somebody like Zimmerman, he's either saving fuel or saving tires, one, right? That's why the gap is what it is to the group in front of him. Will he be able to make up that time difference if this thing was to stay green? Not likely to stay green, but it's possible the way they're strung out.
I've raced with Zimmerman a lot. I know he's up to something. I don't know what it is, but there's something out there we don't know that he does, and it's really looking like an old school Talladega race here, man. The different groups working together. I think the first half of the race it'll be pretty chilled out, and these guys are just going to ride with their strategy. In the second half, it's going to get pretty hairy.
I think you basically got to chill until that pit stop. Once you make that pit stop for fuel, and if you elect to take tires. Once you make that stop, then the gloves come off. And we're seeing here already, track position is kind of key now. Caleb B. Thompson is making some passes coming to the field. Actually broke away from the pack as well. So Caleb B. Thompson, 04 machine, he's fast. He just has to get back on the lead lap, but currently is scored in the lucky dog position. I'll tell you who the biggest Caleb B. Thompson fan is right now. That's Brad Carpenter. He's behind him. If Caleb B. Thompson can get up there and get his lap back the hard way, that will put Brad Carpenter in the lucky dog spot.
Well, he's definitely making up ground and making passes. So he's proven it can be done out there. So I'm wondering if these guys are literally just chilling out and trying to play out their strategy. Or, we got Mears back there too. He's made some passes to get up to 6. So the passing might be not as difficult as we thought, but it's really going to be strategy. We're about 40% of the way through our fuel run here. And lap 50 is going to be key, Tanner. Who makes it there, who doesn't, and who can get to the end of the race if they can get there on one stop.
As a driver, now I'm not in the car, so I don't really know the fuel, but if I was, I'm telling myself, no matter what, don't go a lap down, but make it to lap 50. Whatever you have to do, make it to lap 50. If you got to back the pace down, back it down a little bit. Now with that first caution, it does not sound like a lot, but I promise you that helped them stretch it out a little bit. So I think, fingers crossed, most of them will make it to lap 50, but these guys just in the front 5 pack here, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what their strategy really is besides just let's go, just race, right? Because they have completely broke away from the field up to almost 3 seconds, but Brody's pack is actually catching this front pack here. They're actually getting a little bit of a tow from Caleb B. Thompson lap car. Caleb B. Thompson's definitely catching that front pack, and Brody Mears' pack is also faster. We'll check this time by on the score chart. Another few hundredths faster is Brody Mears' pack from 6 on back. So they are catching the leaders, but I think it flip-flops from lap to lap.
We look at the top 5 here. I'm starting to see them slide around a little bit. Those tires are getting a little bit squirrely. They're getting a little bit hot, and we're going to see a little separation here. We see Mettler. I don't think these guys are saving too much of the front if they're
not
saving
nothing. I don't think they're saving anything.
Those guys are wiggling around, man.
Right. And when you're seeing these cars out here, when they start feeding all the way out to the wall, they're sliding out to the wall, you're seeing them wiggle around like Carol mentioned. They're not saving anything at that point. They're trying to get everything they can out of the car within reason, right? And 71 car got a hell of a run out of turn number 2 right there to the back bumper of the 15. But you see they're just ultimately nowhere to really go with the run because the second he steps out, all that momentum carrying him forward just basically goes away.
I think Thompson has figured out that if he stays on Mettler, I think they're getting a little distance between the guys behind him. And you can see these guys searching around a little bit for speed.
They're all running different lines. Look at them.
Yeah, I've seen Thompson doing it. I hear the tires squealing on these cars. And, I mean, they're all kind of searching around here. We got a pass for 4th. And, Brody's catching these guys, and the other pack, they get to race, and they'll be on them in no time. So, Tanner, I'm going a little bit long here, but I think I figured out what's going on. I think Zimmerman and Stephen T, they're running nose to tail back there about 6 or 7 seconds back. And I think they're up to something there. Stephen T and Zimmerman are usually guys that think it out to the end of the race. And if you watch the 3 Pit Lizard boys that are running nose to tail, they're up to something.
I'm just trying to think. I went quiet there, but I was literally just thinking. I'm just trying to think of the strategy. Maybe just try to guess it up here in the booth, right? Up here in the booth, we know very little than what we see, right? Actually, sometimes it's tough. I'm hoping to get a caution pretty quick, though. We'll pull them up and we'll find out. Cause I am curious what's going on. But you hit the nail on the head right here with this top 5. You're starting to notice, well, Kyle O'Danick in 5th. He's a little bit further off. It looks like there's a little bit of real estate happening between these 5 now. I think Mettler just looks to have the pace right now. Is that clean air on his nose? Is that the benefit right now? I know it typically is.
Well, as announcers here, we got to go by the eye test, right? And we know a little bit about fuel, we know a little bit about tires, but I mean, we're not in those cars. These guys are, and O'Danick generally likes to get himself up into the top 2 or 3 early in the race and play it out from there. And he's kind of riding in 5th. History tells me it's not speed that's dictating that, because we know O'Danick's fast. So I'm wondering if these guys are saving a little bit. I'm watching the cars not wiggle around now after I said that. So, I mean, it's second guessing the strategy that we have to think about up here, and we got to figure out what they're doing.
Adam Thompson, P2, actually got into the wall, almost going into turn 1 there. So that's a weird spot to get into the wall. It may be just a little lapse of focus right there. It's all it takes. That's all it takes here.
Well, these cars, those bars sticking out.
That's what I'm saying. They're so wide.
That could hurt you real bad.
Absolutely.
They don't turn at the best of times.
Right. When they're pristine, they still don't want to turn all that good, right? They're tanks out here. And then when I'm
watching Mettler, man. He's working the bottom and the top. He's run about 5 different lanes from that. If you think of the bottom white line as the bottom of the track, Thompson in the fence again, but he's going from that white line right there right up to the black. So, I mean, I don't know if he's playing with air or whether he's playing with line for speed or whether he's just trying to mess Thompson getting up into the corner. But Mettler's running a few different lines out here.
So you touched on a while ago, they all are top 5. They're running similar lines, right? They're all in the same vicinity of the track, right? But they're all attacking the corners different. That's what I love about short track racing, right? There's many different ways to hit the perfect line here, right? And you're seeing that with these top 5. They're all bad fast, but look at them. They're all in a little bit different portion of what we'll call a line, right? The second lane up. And it's pretty interesting to see. But now here, Mettler, he's back up to them guys again. So it's just like a cat and mouse game. It's almost like fishing. He reels it out a little bit, and then that group reels him back in. He looks really stout, though, off turn 1. Or turn 2, excuse me.
Yeah, Mettler and Thompson are running 2 completely different lines on exit and entry. I mean, you see Thompson running in there, and he's trying to kind of get the run off the corner, but look at Mettler on the bottom, man. He can pull that car down, and O'Danick, I don't see him. He's just kind of floating around here. I wonder if he's saving tire or fuel. He's probably hoping these guys get the race and he can pick up a few spots. But there are different attack angles. There are different exits. There are different braking points here, and they're all hanging out in the draft.
Already lap number 31, coming to 32 this time by. As I'm telling you, New Hampshire, it's a track. It can either be super messy of a race or it can go flag to flag. And now, I made jinxes right here, but this has all the makings of a flag to flag. You got these different cluster groups of cars here. As we'll jump back to 6, this is Derek Stanley. He's currently leading the second pack, leading the charge, we'll call it. Now, Caleb B. Thompson lap car is in a mix a little bit in front of them, but Caleb's in no man's land right here. He's not getting no draft out the front, and he is also not getting none out the back. So, I mean, he is basically no man's land.
He's hanging out, hoping for that caution. He's got to stay ahead of Carpenter. And the one guy I see back here making his way up through here, and he's making time, is Larry Bell. He's passed Mears. He's passed a few guys to get up here, and he didn't have the greatest qualifying effort here, and he's slowly getting his way up through the pack. He's getting pressured right now here by I'm not sure whose car that is. Keith Mack is pressuring him, but these guys need to work together here. If they start racing like this, they're only going to cost themselves time. So we've got a hell of a race here. I don't know how this is all going to play out. I mean, we're 33 laps into a 45 to 50 run, so they know what their cars are going to do now. It's just fuel. They got to work out fuel and how this is all going to work to the end.
as Bell he's made up 4 spots since he hit starting grid. So the 43 car started 11th, already up to P7, working on P6 right here. And this is what you got to do. You got to basically be a shark in the water. You got to watch, observe, wait for the mistake, and then you got to pounce. And that's what you're seeing right here. 43 cars trying to apply enough pressure to the 15 of Derek Stanley. I don't know why. Okay, Stanley's 15, Mettler's 15. That's cool. But trying to apply just enough pressure to Derek Stanley there to maybe force a mistake out of the 15 car.
Yeah, I don't think Stanley's going to give that up. I mean, these guys have a big group here. If they just work together, they can start making some ground on those leaders. And being that we don't know who all pitted here, I mean, some of these guys can go a few extra laps on the leaders too. So they don't need to be racing. They need that time. I mean, the race begins at lap 50. That's where we find out who's who and what's going to happen at the end and the track position, where they're sitting. So these guys, I mean, they're starting to figure it out and do a good job here, but they need to make some ground up on those leaders. They can't be too far behind them.
It feels like deja vu every time we come back up to the front. There'll be one lap. Mettler has about a half a second lead. Then we'll come back, and it'll be right there on the front bumper of the 71. It's weird the way the draft works here and how the momentum works here. You're seeing the momentum shift from first to second almost 10 times per lap, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Kyle O'Danick here, I mean, you're just hanging out. You know this is going to be settled on the pit stops, when they pit, how they pit, what they take for fuel and tires. And, you know, this front group all knows that. And these guys, I guess they're trying to get their way back up to the front group, but they are costing themselves some time. And, you know, Zach Murphy is experienced. We don't know about the third place driver there. We have no idea about Rogers. We don't know how much experience he has. He hasn't run in this league before, but I can say he's doing a really good job there hanging out in the top 5.
He seems pretty fast. He put it on the pole to come out here for his first showing here. Rookie night here in the Cricket Line Racing Series. And I mean, he's doing everything right thus far. Sitting here following the front two and just kind of biding his time right now. I think they're twiddling thumbs right now, our top 5 is. These are all smart racers up here. And I'm going to throw Steven up in that hat too, even though we don't really know him yet. But these guys, I think they all understand. We got a pit stop. I mean, like you said, this race will be made or broken by the pit stop. Got to be careful. This is a tough. 71 got in hot. Had to check up to stay off the 15. And you saw just the accordion effect right there. But Carol, this is a tough road to hit under green flag conditions. And don't even forget to mention these cars are terrible trying to slow down like that.
Yeah, the brakes and the way the tires grip in these, they grip really well. Oh, we got a wreck off of on the back stretch.
Caution flag out in the air.
Keith Mack.
It's telling me Keith Mack went off the track, huh? What happened here? See if we can get a camera. Camera's work. Oh, is that Brody? Did Brody slap the wall right there? No, he did not. We'll rewind it back. Give me time to get a better camera angle here.
They were racing really hard for that spot once Larry Bell got past them.
Riding behind Keith Mack, kind of in between them here.
I mean, yikes. Looks like Brody got loose on the top just as Keith was coming up to get to his door there.
It was like they both kind of cleared the same amount of distance to get to each other. And you saw the motor, you heard it, folks. That motor expired on the 55, has to tow. I don't want to say that's night ending, but we have not seen very many cautions as we have a busy pit road here, Carol.
Yeah, this could decide the race right here. If it goes the way we've seen it go, I mean, at this point, they're going to have to make one more stop. They are not going to make it. We got 50 laps. That adds up to 90. That's 10 miles short, Tanner. So this just turned the race on its head here. Do you get tires? Do you wait for tires for a caution? Like, this is a huge decision right here.
As we see the 15 of Brandon Mettler, right side's going up in the air. Looks like the top 5 all was Stephen T. Johnson as well, taking right side. Left side's all they're going to go.
I mean, there's another strategy here too. You could take a little less fuel knowing that you got a pit to get out in the lead, you know, to get that track position late. So there's a lot of strategy from here now. I mean, this race is not decided 50 laps in like we thought.
We need to touch on Brad Carpenter. He was trying to stay out to get the wave around. Newsflash, Jason Bauer did not pit. No wave around for Brad Carpenter here. Looks like he knows that, and Brad Carpenter taking down pit road. That's tough.
He's got 10 laps of fuel left at best.
That's tough for Brad Carpenter. I don't know. I mean, Bauer maybe just hoping for a quick yellow here, but Bauer has not went down pit road yet. So how much fuel does the 9 car have here? Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah, that is a tough deal for both guys that are 1 lap down, Thompson
I
and
think
Brad
Thompson
Carpenter.
should have got the lucky dog, right? Yes. Thompson is currently being
So
scored.
Thompson's okay. It's
Yeah.
Carpenter who
I,
got the
I
bad end of
I
that deal.
think Carpenter got the shaft on that one. One person stayed out. It was Jason Bauer. My oh my. That's funny.
Did Bauer take fuel early, I wonder?
No, he has not hit pit road at all. I like to call him Bauer. Hey, do something different. Get off strategy. You never know how this can play out, right? Never know how it can
Hey,
play
he
out.
gets a quick caution here. He gets tires in the lead.
No, because Mettler and them's already pit. They're on lead lap.
Yeah, but I mean, if this goes 8 laps and he gets a caution, they all got to come down for fuel. He could come out with the lead. I think that's what he's thinking.
Maybe. I don't see. I know it's 60 laps to go. I foresee the ones that just pit, a lot of them going in super conserve mode right here. Try to save about 5-6 laps of fuel to make it to the end. That's gonna be
They're
tough.
delaying the green, I heard.
Well, that helps out these boys. Because these boys they're short on fuel, right? They're short on fuel by about 5, 6, 7 laps. So, I mean, this helps them. This delayed green right here
That
will
is
help.
6 miles. That's 6 miles. Run 6 miles and see how far that is. That's a
Right.
lot of fuel to
Right.
save.
Especially, and we talked about it earlier, you're on the throttle so much at this track that there's not a whole lot of opportunity to save. So, if you're able to right now, if you have a clutch pedal, you better be saving as much fuel as you can right now.
Yeah, I'd be shutting that motor off.
Organic is sitting here cruising, motor's turned off for. Oh no, he's actually got the clutch put in.
One thing I want to shout out here, Tanner, you got Mettler in here. They had a problem. He might be the best admin we have. He's in here fixing it, figuring it out, making it double file restarts. It was single. Shout out to Brandon Mettler. He's always working in here to make the series better.
That's allowed people to come down pit road.
Not a bad call. Maybe you can make it 45 or 55.
If you're allowed to do it, you can do it. Can't believe only 2 people made the call to come down right then. Didn't want to. Well, I guess others just didn't want to forgo the track position.
I saw one of them was Larry Bell. You cannot miss that car. Shout out to Larry Bell, too. He's always got a cool paint scheme out there, and he's always in here getting wrecked, but he comes back every week, and he's always looking good out there.
Poor old man has the worst luck ever, man. Worst luck ever. His lights are off in the gender neutral pace car. Jason Bauer, Brandon Mettler make up your first row. Row number 2, Adam Thompson, Kyle O'Danick, Zach Murphy, and P5. So we're going to see, got a new face out front. Going to see what the 15, 71, and 21 can do with the old Jason Bauer. Different tire strategies, too, by the way. Mettler's on 2. From the looks of it looks like everybody up to Joshua Vermillion took 2 that pitted.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. Top 5 is almost the same minus Bauer, but he's going backwards here on the old tires.
Seeing the tires come into play there. Adam Thompson heads up driving, almost snuck it in 3 wide in between Bauer and Brandon Mettler. You're seeing cars actually go everywhere towards the back, scattering out. But Adam Thompson, he thought better of it, backed out of it, and you're seeing Jason Bauer, the 9 car. He's actually giving these boys the high side. He's giving them the lane. I think he knows tires are shot, not even worth the battle. Just letting them on by. Alex E. Harris, been a quiet night for the 74 car. He's making some moves now. He's up to P5. P6.
Yeah, Alex has improved a lot, Tanner. I've watched him improve from day one, and he's up there winning. We're running for race wins now. It's really cool to see. Like all these guys, you see the evolution of these drivers, and we never give them credit. I mean, we're out there competing all the time. Oh, Mears is sideways. What a save by Brody Mears, Tanner. Have a look at this, folks. This is how you drive a sideways race car. That looked like a little bit of netcode. I saw his car hop. What a save.
Kept it off the wall, saved the car, no caution. Hell of a job by the young gun.
People pouring off those tires for that kid. What a job. He took a wild ride in the real race at home here a couple weeks ago, and he's showing that he can drive that race car.
Jumping on board Brandon Mettler, I'm going to lay out for a second, just trying to listen to the throttle play here. He's still driving it in really deep, Carol. Not a whole lot of saving going on out of the 15 car.
That tells me they're going to have to make one more pit stop. Now, what about these guys in the back that took fuel? Can they make it? If this goes green, I know Larry Bell pitted. I didn't see who else went down there with him.
Larry Bell,
Um,
Stephen T. Johnson. I think they're saving.
oh, Stephen T, boy. He's, Stephen
Larry's
T.
saving. Larry was
Yep.
saving on the entry. He knows something we don't know. It's closer. It's close. I think with that delayed caution, I think that really benefited the 17 and the 43 of Larry Bell, Stephen T. Johnson. I can't believe more did not go down pit road there.
You hang out with Stephen T. Johnson long enough, you learn some stuff on iRacing. I'll tell you that. For all you guys getting into it, that's the guy to learn from, strategy-wise, fuel-wise, tire-wise. He's a pretty smart dude, and Larry Bell. I've raced with him for a long time, and he's a vet. He knows how to do it too. So do these guys have a winning strategy back there? They're hanging out in last, but you're only first, or you're only last till you're in first. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here if this goes green.
We know the top 5. I don't think they have save fuel in their vocabulary, right? They were pushing hard at the start of the race, and it looks to be like they're pushing hard now. They're starting to see them slip and slide, feet all the way out to that wall, get just close enough where they reach out and just brush it, right? Just touch it. They are digging right now.
It is obvious that Brandon Mettler wants a lead going into those pits. He is trying to stretch that out. He's trying to get the advantage going to pit road. And while these guys are chasing the rat up here in the front, there's some snakes in the grass hanging out with some fuel in the back.
As we have a battle for second place, Adam Thompson washes up high, but he will have the momentum on the high side here. Looks to be like O'Danick has woke up and he's ready to get up here and start racing. Remember, you said it earlier, he likes that to the front. Oh, Thompson into the wall. It's going to kill his momentum. And I'm seeing a report Jason Bauer went off track down here. He did indeed. Oh, Bauer tried to pit. You're about to see the makings of a bad. Why this track's so hard to pit on under green. We talked about this, Carol.
Go from that transition right there.
Yep.
From the banking to the flat, and these cars don't like it. It looked like he bottomed out there.
It did. Look. It did. It just completely upsets the chassis. As these two are still side by side for P2 here. O'Danick's trying to make the low side work. He has the advantage on entry. He'll inch up and ahead of the 71. But then look, 71 makes it all back up from the center of the corner off.
Brandon Mettler is loving this. He's stretching out his lead. He's watching those guys get small in his mirror. O'Danick wants to get after Thompson so he can go get after Mettler. They're thinking the same thing. And Thompson, I don't know if Thompson's saving tire here or what he's doing, but they're all over him for second place.
Riding on the roll bar of Kyle O'Danick, number 21, currently sitting P3. He's tried the inside lane. Looks to be like he's trying to take the outside lane right now just for the momentum. But I still look for the 21 car. Once he does that, he's still going to try to cross him over, look underneath, and get the momentum off. I do not think the 71 is going to give up at high side voluntarily.
I think O'Danick's hanging back. He's cooling off his tires here, looking to make a pass in a few more laps. And Mettler is a beneficiary of this.
He
if
loves
that draft doesn't pull him back in, he's going to have a nice big fat lead when they come to pit stops. And you can see the tire marks. He's running that car for all it's worth.
From prior experience here, Carol, about once you get these tour mods about 0.5, half a second away from the guy in front of you, you basically don't really feel the draft anymore. It's not going to necessarily just pull you in like you would see a NASCAR Cup car does on Sunday, right? So right now, they're right there at that threshold. They're almost at half a second. Now, they're in luck, but they got a pack, right? They got a 4-man group versus Mettler's 1-man group. Naturally, they will be quicker. But Mettler, man, he is using that clean air, using them racing, all that to his advantage. Now, look at the real estate between Kyle and second place of Adam Thompson. Look like Kyle made an issue there, or he could be, like you said, letting the tires cool off a little bit. Raced a little hard there for 3 or 4 laps with Adam. Now he's going to basically let them tires cool off and then live to fight another day, basically.
Yeah, there's one of two things happen there. Either he heated them up and it won't turn, or he's backed off and he's decided to get them on the long run as opposed to the short run. I mean, Kyle's got a lot of experience, especially in these cars. We know that. I tried to chase him down at Martinsville one night, and I was just breaking even. So he knows what he's doing in these cars. And looks like Adam's starting to catch Mettler again here. Has Mettler backed off to cool him off, or is he just running it and Adam's a little bit better on the long run? Mettler is laying down some marks, Tanner Moore. He is running that car.
We got some good battling going on right here in the middle portion of the field. Keith Mack trying to get some laps back. Remember, we saw him go straight head on into the inside wall, expired the motor, ended up losing 2 laps. So, but I saw between Zimmerman, Derek Stanley, and Chris Clark, them boys, they were basically 3 wide there for a minute, and it got a little hairy.
Yeah, we got the 15 all over Zim for his position here, and I think Zimmerman can maybe make it too. He's looking awful quiet out there. When Zimmerman's having a quiet race, you got to worry about him. We got Stephen T and we got Larry Bell for sure. All the Pit Lizard boys, they're all. It looks like they're on a different strategy than the leaders. All of them are doing the fuel gig, and Metler has stretched it out again, Tanner. If you look, he is pulling away from Thompson.
Almost 6/10. It is 6/10, almost 7/10 of a gap over second place. So I think 6th place on back, they're in the window to make it. Even though they pitted on the same lap as our race leaders, most of them did, except for Stephen T, Larry Bell. Most of them pitted on lap 40 as well as our leaders. But these leaders, man, they're digging. They are almost 3/10 faster per lap than that second pack is. Why is that? Because that second pack saving a little bit of fuel, saving a little bit of tire.
Yeah, if you're O'Danick here, I'm going to put myself in O'Danick's shoes in third, trying to win this race. He's got a bit of a roadblock in Adam in front of him. He feels faster than him, and he's kind of in the way to get him after the lead. He wants the – I mean, we got bonus points in this league, so he wants to lead a lap and get up there and lead and take away that spot from the 15. And he's got the 71 kind of either hanging back or in his way, and – you know, you can feel his frustration here, and the guys behind them, they haven't made a move yet. We don't know what the new guy there, what's his name? I always forget it there. I think it's Rogers. Rogers, we don't know what he's capable of. Is he laying back as a snake in the weeds, or is this his speed? But, I mean, he's shown a lot of experience, and we know the 29. We know his experience level. He's capable of winning every week in these cars. So, I mean, we got a really good race up front. We got a race within a race with the fuel guys behind him. I'm getting excited here.
As Derek Stanley said, he wanted to lead that other pack. Got some lap cars right there in front of him, but that's giving him a little bit of a tug. I mean, that's allowed him, to break away from them a little. As Stanley, he is currently running 7th. It looks to be like he might be the only car that took 4 tires from the way the pit stops work. I think everybody else did 2 tires except Derek Stanley.
I think where the pit stops happen, there's so many strategies that could win here. 4 tires, 2 tires, fuel, no fuel. I mean, with the way O'Danick he's starting to get some pressure on Adam again. He wants that spot. And, I mean, Metler is just running for the hills. He's just trying to get as big a lead as he can get here and get that fuel and get gone. But, you know, all these strategies, I mean, I don't know who's going to win this race. I think the top 15 could win this race, or top 12, I mean.
Shout out to Vermillion out here in a 34 car. Sitting P6, having a hell of a night. So great night thus far for the 34 camp. Going to be 36 laps to go at the stripe this next time by. Does have Brad Carpenter. Mind you, he is a lap down here, but he's trying. He's fighting with that number 31. I say that, and caution flag is out. Looks like maybe oh man, Chris Clark, I believe. And Scott Bryant, possibly. See what happens here. Got Brian's the 83 car. Got Brian Zimmerman right there in front.
Everything's cool though right there.
Chris Clark's getting a little hot.
He took responsibility for it on the radio too.
Yeah, he got in there a little hot. Just
you can see the car wiggle right before he hits him. He's trying to get it wound down. He can't stop it.
Man, does just keep coming across the track too though. Tough one. I mean, it's a tough one.
Yeah, that lane was there. He was there. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, it's weird. That was a weird one. I would claim if I'm in the car because it would feel like your fault, right? I mean, now. Can they make it?
Who's
up
got
front?
tires in there? Tires win this race. 30. We're gonna have 30 to go.
I don't think tires matter at this point. I really don't. Metler's on 2. We saw people on 4. Now, well, I say all that.
They've run 26 laps on those tires. Do you put left sides on?
You got some coming in, some staying out. So that tells me some of them couldn't make it up front. Kyle O'Danick, Zach Murphy here. They do elect to stay out. So race leader has been changed. Kyle O'Danick is now the man front and center out front. Brad Carpenter taking that 31 car around to get his lap back. As a very busy pit road. Looks like Alex C. Harris, Stephen T. Johnson, Brian Zimmerman, Steven Rogers, Zach Murphy, and O'Danick. Those are your top 6, and they did not visit pit lane right there for service. Even Larry Bell, Stephen T. Johnson. Or no, Stephen T. Johnson out. So Larry Bell, we saw him top off fuel. He went back down pit road, so even him topping off, it was close on fuel. Maybe these guys
taking tires.
Maybe 7-second stop. Looks like tires are about 13 seconds. Like just adding just a little bit more fuel. But man,
we got Murphy, O'Danick, and Rogers did not visit pit lane. Zimmerman did not finish pit lane and or visit pit lane. Sorry, we got Johnson up there, so we know they can make it. They're experienced enough to know. Harris as well, and Metler's the first guy that went down pit road, and that mixes up our top 5. We got guys like Zimmerman and Thompson up here, Stephen T, who have not been up front all night, and it's amazing watching Zimmerman, man. It doesn't matter the strategy, he's always going to be there in the top 5 with a chance to win, unless he gets wrecked. That guy every week, man, in every car you run, he is in the top 5 with a 30 to go. It's like magic, the experience is amazing out there. And, can those other guys pass these guys to get to the leaders? Can the leaders get away from them, man? We've got a lot of storylines happening here, Tanner.
I think these guys are needing one more caution, or they're going to have to save pretty hard. I don't know if they can make it, just outright make it.
Well, looking at the top 2, they are shutting that car off. I mean, look at O'Danick. He's rolling around here on the bottom. So is Zach. Rogers looks like he's doing the same with how far he's hanging back there. So, I mean, these guys are really close. They wouldn't be saving like that if they weren't. And, can the guys behind them, do they have to save? And do the guys behind them have enough speed to get around them while they're saving? This is insane. This turned into a really good race with 30 to go.
I've done a lot of laps with Brian Zimmerman and Stephen T. Like in the chat with them. They're not guys that are just going to start saving all at once, right? I would have to venture to guess 17 and a 28 have been saving over that run right there. So if I look for anybody that can make it out of this group up here in the top 5, I look for it to be either Zimmerman or Stephen T. Johnson, who pitted 3 laps after them. But now that's going to really put the pressure on Kyle and Zach now. So they're out front. They determine the pace here, but they also got to watch that fuel hand. And mind you, they don't have a fuel gauge. It's not telling them how far they can go. They got to do a little bit of math and figure it out in the car, right? And hope your math's right.
If they're gonna run out, it'll be on the last lap too. We're gonna get to racing here, forget about it, and we're gonna have to watch the last lap.
As O'Danick fires them off, gets a great launch. As the cameras here don't really work for a restart, but is able to get up in front of I believe it's a teammate of Zach Murphy. If they're not teammates, they race pretty close together with each other in the same chat.
Mettler already making moves up there. He's on the bottom already looking for spots. He wants to go back to the front.
I think he knows right here. These spots are very valuable when they're side by side. You can get maybe one, possibly even 2 people in one corner if a mistake happens. And I mean, we talk about it every time we hit the live button. You got to maximize these restarts, but you got to do it within reason. You can't go out here and make an ass of yourself, because on a short track, you make very many enemies that are eventually going to cash in a receipt, right? But you do. I mean, we saw Mettler. He was searching, but kind of in a box right now. 17 car, 71 car. They're side by side with the 74 of Harris. Not a whole lot of places for Mettler to choose to go right here. And as a driver, that's frustrating, especially throwing the hat that you've led the first 67 laps of tonight's event.
Well, the laps are becoming your enemy as well. They're counting down here. Look at Mettler, man. He wants that spot.
Right on the back bumper of a 71, putting a lot of trust in the internet right there, because they were hella close to each other.
Look at Mettler send it down in there. He wants that. Look at that. He's sideways on the bottom. I mean,
losing a lot of time.
The laps are becoming his enemy. Time is becoming his enemy after leading most of this race, and he feels like he needs to get back up there.
His one savior of tonight is, can those top 6, can they make it to the end? We're seeing the 17 of Stephen T. Johnson. I don't think he's really pushing. I think he's maintaining right now. Now, Kyle O'Danick, Zach Murphy, they're leading this train around here, so they are naturally, I mean, they're dictating the pace, and they're using up the most fuel. I mean, O'Danick has nobody out the front windshield to him, giving him any type of draft, any type of pull down the straightaway. I do also want to hit on Larry Bell coming to tonight as our points leader. Had to take a stop right then to top off the car with fuel. Currently slotted in 11th, so I know he's going to want to keep Brian Zimmerman, who is second in the points, within striking range here. So maybe he can walk away with the points lead again, but he's going to need a few spots. Every spot matters. Every time he passes guys, we got people in the wall. Every time he passes a guy for position, that's another point in the standings.
Yeah, middle of the pack here. It is heating up. Larry Bell's making moves up there. Mettler's making moves up there. He's to the top of Thompson. He got the jump on Thompson on the high side, and he is really taking some risks here to get back to that lead. He wants to win this race. His driving has shown us how bad he wants to win here. So, there is a lot of racing left in 26 to go. That's 52 corners of these guys beating and banging, and it's getting to it.
74 cars trying to make a move over Stephen T. Johnson, but not really able to do it. You can see he can get there, but Johnson, he is making the high side work to perfection here. Look, 74 is going to get there once again. But we'll have a little bit of help from Brian Zimmerman. Oh, no, Melvin gets a little bit loose tag in front of Stephen T. In front of Adam Thompson. Looks like he walked the dog sideways, gathered it up, and just other guys not able to check up. That is 0 once again, live on True Sim Productions. Tough break for the 15 car. Brody Mears got a blown motor.
Brody Mears, Sawyer.
A bunch
of guys got caught up in that one.
A lot of innocent bystanders in that one.
And that does nothing but help O'Danick in the lead, saving fuel, and Zimmerman and those guys that didn't pit.
I think that's
Let's
what they needed.
See what happened here.
I think that's what they needed. Was that caution to fly?
I think.
Well, the camera changed right
when he got loose, or Thompson got into him here. Let's see.
Thompson gives him a little nudge in the corner here. Watch this. He's got to bear with me on the camera, so not great. Look, a little bit of nudge.
Like Thompson just misjudged it. Those bars hooked up and game over.
And let's be honest. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's be honest here too. This is at the portion of the corner where we're picking up throttle, right? And
different lines,
right?
Corner, picking up the throttle hard. He's just trying to follow him.
Right.
There. He's
thinking he's going to push Mettler more than anything, right? Just nudge him, get Mettler a little bit more.
Right up on him, give him a push down the straightaway, and misjudged it a bit. Oh, that's all it takes. One wrong inch, and there's 5 cars in the wall backwards, and got guys mad at you.
Tough break.
Brad Carpenter back on the lead lap.
As Brody Mears got it down pit road. Brandon Mettler, Adam Thompson. That's your 3 that come down pit road. As I think your top, I think everybody can make it now. We're gonna see if we can dial up Kyle O'Danick. He don't come up here and talk to us in the race very often. See if we can have a word with him. Mr. O'Danick, you're live in the booth. Got a copy? Kyle O'Danick, Tanner Chris in the booth. Got a copy?
Yep, got you guys.
So, Kyle, we know coming into tonight the fuel was going to be a factor. What's the fuel situation looking like for you and you and Zach Murphy? I know you are in the same camp.
And you don't have to tell us.
We're close, but I think this put us. I think we were short before. I think we're right on the number now. I'm
a genius. I said I thought y'all needed this caution. I thought it was going to be a little hairy. Well, Kyle, you've ran good all night inside the top 3, top 4, been in the mix. You got the lead now. Now you got the clean air on your nose. You think you got a good shot at bringing this thing home?
Yeah, if I just run a clean rest of the race here, I think we'll be all right. It's pretty hard to pass, so as long as I keep enough fuel in it and keep the nose clean, I think we'd be good.
Looks like you have a friend behind you, maybe 2 friends behind you, and Zach Murphy and Steven Rogers. I know Zach's hungry for that race win. Steven Rogers probably is. You are too. So y'all give him hell out here. Put on one hell of a show that y'all do every week. Good luck, brother.
All right, thank you.
Get him back down to his race team. As I'll be honest, who'd I pick? I picked Zach Murphy, didn't I? That was my pick.
Yes, you did. Yep.
And you picked, was it Thompson? You picked Adam Thompson?
I picked Thompson. The broadcaster's curse got him there.
So we're just waiting for Murphy now. Something to happen to Murphy. That's the way it works, man. Broadcaster curse. Shout out to the chat. We got John out in the chat. Great video quality and broadcast. Love those mods. Great commentary, fellas. Keep up that momentum. Great energy. Well, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for watching. We really do appreciate that. Much love to you, John. I know you're coming out to race the dirt series. I saw. So super excited to have you, brother, and can't wait to mix and mingle. We get out there on the dirt a little bit, sling a little bit of mud, and fenders, and probably F-bombs because I'm wrecking. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm thinking if you're racing with those boys on dirt, you're probably just in the back eating all the mud from the tires. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, me and dirt, we don't go along. I may have ate dirt as I was a kid, but I don't do dirt on the sim. And I'm just joking. I don't know if I actually ate dirt as a kid. I think every kid tries it though, right? Hopefully.
I would bet in your case for sure it happened.
As we're getting ready to go back, green flag racing gonna be 20 laps to go. So this started out as a marathon. Well, it's a sprint now. 20 laps to go. It's go time from this moment forward. If it wasn't go time after the pit stop, it's go time now. You heard the leader, though. He didn't sound 100% confident in the fuel situation, but he did sound confident enough, I believe. Pace car pulls off. Here we go.
Well, I think the top four are the guys to watch here. I think fifth on back, it's tough to win with 20 to go, but I think these top four have a legit chance to make it. Zach Murphy taking a weird line into one there, but
weird.
It worked.
It was very, very weird. It looked like he kind of just paused in the middle of the corner right there. Very, very awkward with that. I don't know if that was internet, line, or what, but look at the run he gets off. Right there on the back bumper of our race leader. But mama, here comes that bad, bad man, Mr. Brian Zimmerman. He won last week at Iowa, had to start in the back. He's worked his way back up to the front. 28 machine sitting P3. And he's sitting a pretty P3 because that's what he sees out the front windshield is P2 and P1. Victory lane may be on the horizon for the number 28 car. Whoa, teammates. Well, 29, sorry to interrupt. 29 just gave a shot to the 21. So throw out everything I said about a friendly behind you. He gave him one hell of a shot on the corner exit. And we just seen a guy get turned after that.
Yeah, teammates only work for so long. There's 20 to go. Race win on the line. Ooh. I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm O'Danick, Tanner, there's probably two guys in this field I don't want on my bumper. One of them is the 29. You know, he's yep. raced hard for the win, and you know the experience level of the 28. Yep. So you got two black cars right on his bumper. I mean, he's got double Dale Earnhardt's on his bumper.
Oh, here. I knew it was going to happen. We were watching Alex D. Harris. They had slight contact. Him. Oh, hold the brake, Adam. Alex. Trying to get off the track. I get it. He thought he was in no man's land there, in no harm's way. But I watched this happen. We got to go back because him and Steven Rogers, I can't say what I want to say on broadcast, but they were in a measuring contest. And I think that allowed Caleb B. Thompson to get up there in the mix. You see Caleb B. Thompson's car right there. So we went back about half a lap here. Alex has to check up because of 17. I was watching all this happen kind of out of the corner of my eye here. Now watch this as they go down the straightaway here. They get touched, tangled.
Oh, baby.
Now just wait. It keeps going.
Oh, he's going to check up again.
So Alex is having to check up for the guys in front of him, and maybe a little frustrated here, but I don't think it's his fault. Oh, look like the 89 car just thought Alex was further up, and I mean he wasn't. Yes.
I think Alex is trying to get the draft from the guy in front.
Yeah, Alex is following the guy in front of him, I believe.
He's trying to get that pull. And
I think
that is inches, man. They're racing with 20 to go. It happens. This is the thought. Oh, that is
It really sucks for all these guys. Luckily, though, I mean, Steven Rogers, he got out of that unscathed. Got a little bit of Nerf bar damage, not going to affect him here. As long as the wheels didn't get no hard contact. But I'll be honest, if I'm Zach Murphy here, I'm nervous now. Now, I do have a teammate, may get a teammate counting down from the race leader, Kyle O'Danick. But you got Brian Zimmerman. He's going to be firing off right behind that leader. And then you also got the restart king, the 17, Stephen T. Johnson. He's going to be firing off fourth. And then when you're in fourth in these cars, you can see the leader perfectly. Second place, they cannot really see the leader that good when you're sitting to the outside of them. Brian Zimmerman, Stephen T. Johnson, they're going to be able to tell exactly when O'Danick car budges at all when he's firing, right?
Two different sets of teammates teaming up on each other for a win here. This is going to get awesome. You know, Tanner, I want to throw another shout out to the 43. I know he's my best friend in life, but he missed another wreck tonight, and he's come from the back three times.
I cannot even believe you even brought it up. Now we just jinxed him. Because you know the broadcast of curse, it will definitely hit bail. It may jump and skip over Zach Murphy, but it'll hit bail.
I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but I saw his nose come through that wreck again. He's missed a few to get up through there tonight.
I'm sure if we were down there talking, I would have already said, well, Bale, you went past 2 of them. Now you know it's your turn on the 3rd one. We'd be laughing probably right
Your
now.
quota is met.
Right. We would be laughing about right now. That's the one thing I love about Bale. He's such a good sport about it. And you know, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but the man, he'll get flat out dumped at some of these races, guys. And y'all can't hear the chat, but it's amazing because he will get flat out dumped. And he'll just leave. Won't say a word. He won't cuss anybody out. He won't even cuss to us as teammates. He's like, all right, I'm out. And he's gone.
We're all complaining on the radio, and you just hear boop, and Larry Bell is gone.
We're like, and instantly, as soon as we hear the noise that somebody left the party, we're like, or the channel, we're like, oh, Larry Bell got wrecked. Dang it.
I'll tell you what, man, these guys get to racing and a couple more wrecks happen. He's right up in there for the win. We know it's going to get real tight. We're going to have around, 12 or 13, no, 11 to go. And, I mean, what is he running, 7th or 8th? I mean, the top 8 have a chance here now. I mean, these guys are going to be banging doors. There's going to be, you're going to be shooting holes when they touch and, stuff you wouldn't have done 100 laps ago. So, I mean, I think the top 8 or 10 could win this race once they start racing really hard.
Shout out to Vermillion. I saw the tail end of his car. It was beautiful. We'll pull it up one more time. ESP on the back end of that car. I'd love to see it. Thank you, Joshua, for supporting the cause here. And folks, thank you all for watching home for supporting the cause. And if you're still here, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a ton. I think we gained a few today alone, up to 354 on the road to 500. Also, if you hit the thumbs up button, it helps trick the YouTube algorithm into thinking we're bigger than what we really are. So hit that thumbs up button. Helps out a ton as we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Going to be 13 laps to go at the stripe.
Big jump for Odanik out front
Big
there.
jump
Him
for
and
Zimmy.
Zimmy got a good start on the bottom too. And you'd think they'd be counting down each other, but I don't know if they are the way that. Oh, look at Zimmerman for the bottom for the lead here.
Now the bottom's been hard to work all night, but we have seen some make it work. Zimmy loose, really driving that car. Going to lose a little bit of momentum, scrub off a little bit of speed. It really benefited Zach Murphy when that 28 had to lift a little bit, bobbled. Zimmy's driving it off in there deep. He's the only driver we've seen all night walk all the way down to that yellow line. And contact in a big one. Oh,
we have lost Brian Zimmerman in turn 4, folks.
The freaking broadcaster curse struck Zach Murphy too. It never fails. I'm sorry, Zach. Jesus Christ. It never fails. Watch what happened here. Racing really hard here at the tail end. Zimmy gets wicked loose right there, brother.
Zimmy was going for it there.
Now, it's going to be hard to tell here, but Jim's pushing up in the corner right there. I thought he was fine, though.
Oh, he got loose. He got loose and slid up into Zach. Zach was doing what he had to do, pinching him down, trying to get that spot, and Zim looked like he had a bump there and spun the tires. If you look. You see the car move a little bit just before Zach makes contact.
Because he lifts when he starts pushing up, and then he kind of maintains that line right there.
Yeah, he gets it turning right here, and he hits something. Oh, the transition. See it?
Yeah.
See the correction in the wheel? There's a little transition there. He clipped it and spun the tires. I bet you he'll tell you that in the interview if you interviewed him.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. Well, you interview him. Where's he at? Bring him up here. Get Mr. Brian Zimmerman up in the booth. He's all yours.
Zimmy, you got Tanner and Carol up in the booth here. I'm wondering what happened there coming off at 2. Where you were racing really, really hard for the lead there. Tell us what went wrong.
Well, I got a little loose off 2, and then I was in the inside of Zach. I really sent it into 3 and 4 there, and Zach was squeezing me, which he should, and I'm watching the replay, and it looks like on my screen there's still half a foot between us when we showed contact there. He was doing all he could to squeeze me down, which is what he should have been doing, and I was doing everything I could to hold it down. I just pushed up into him, it looks like, a little bit, and ruined both of our races, so apologize to Zach there. I was racing hard, and he was racing hard, and I couldn't hold it down, and my apologies to him on that.
Yeah, I looked on the replay. It looked like he caught the transition there just as he got on the throttle. Might have spun the tires on you a little bit and wiggled, and saw a little bit of correction on the steering wheel there. Do you have a fast repair? Do you have tires? Do you have anything to get back up through there, Zim?
No, I'm done. I had to tow, so I had a 2.5 or 2 minute toes here. So I'll be about 3 laps down. So that's it for me. And like I said, unfortunately, I took Zach out too. He'd had a great run. So my apologies to him. I wish I could take that back. I'd have been a little easier. I'd just followed him through there and tried a little later.
That's racing, brother.
Tried a little too early there. We still had 10, 11, 12 laps to go, but I thought I needed to make my move early, and that's what I was trying to do, and just pushed up into him a little bit.
Zim, I'll be honest. I think if you don't try the move right now, I think you finish P3, honest to God, because the way it's been here tonight, been really hard to pass, and you got to send it. We've saw anybody that's made pass on the low line tonight, Zim, they've had to send it, and you tried it, and it just, I mean, you had it. You stuck it there for a second, you held your line, and then the car just wanted to step out. Just the transition of the track just upset the car, and you saved it, but you just ran out of real estate trying to save it. So tough break for the 28 car. Glad to see it come back out. That was a pretty hard lick, brother.
Yeah, it was. It was MBR is pretty hard lick, but my apologies to everybody in the field that got collected up in that. I know that sucks. We run a full race here, and then that happened at the very end.
Oh, good, brother. It happens. So good luck to you, buddy. Go out there and at least turn some laps here at the end.
Yep, well, we will. We'll try to make sure we don't make any more contact.
Good luck, brother.
All right.
Good luck, Zim.
I love him, man. I love Zimmerman. He's so brutally honest to a fault, too.
He's the only guy you could interview after a wreck like that wouldn't be cussing.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't pulling Zach Murphy up in that moment. There's no way. So, Kyle O'Danick, Stephen T. Johnson, Caleb B. Thompson, they're running 1, 2, and 3. Nose to tail, single file restart here as O'Danick gets a great launch, but Stephen T. Johnson in P2 does as well. With top 2, both got up through the gear just fine and dandy. 04, Caleb B. Thompson, though. Mind you, folks, this car 04 was a lap down earlier in the race. Perseverance does pay off, as well as Brad Carpenter was also a lap down at one point tonight. He's up to P7. Caleb B. Thompson currently holding down P3.
Yeah, kudos to Carpenter. He's made a really good race, or a
Mettler
really
too.
bad race into a good one.
Mettler was a lap down earlier after having a tow or having his wreck. He's got back now.
Those
He's
two
up to
guys have
P5.
done really well.
So we've saw Mettler have the ultimate roller coaster of the night, making moves for P4 here on Steven Rogers. Steven Rogers had a very quiet night, but a great night. It's what you want to have somebody brand new to the series. He's been bad fast all night, qualified on the pole, ran in the top 5, kept the nose clean, and he's contending right here. Brandon Mettler himself going side by side. Mettler
is
loose.
sideways.
Look at all the momentum he loses here. This is a momentum-based track. The battle with Steven Rogers was lost, and that allowed Larry Bell to get there. Now Brad Carpenter's trying to get there. Just a momentum-based track.
These guys are racing really hard. I wouldn't be surprised to see them make some contact here. And, you know, we haven't said much about Stephen T all night, and he is on the champ's back bumper here knocking on the door. He's at a quiet race, a typical Stephen T night, and at the end he's got a chance to win, Tanner.
And Kyle O'Danick feels the pressure. We saw it when we clicked over here. He is trying to break the draft here. He don't want to help or give any benefit to Stephen T. Johnson. We saw him go low on the front stretch, trying to break that draft or break any bit of it that he can, break it up. Give Stephen T a little bit dirty air instead of valuable draft type air. Right here, I mean, it's a battle for the top 2 right now. 5 laps to go, 4 to go when they cross the line. Stephen T arcing the car in a little bit later, going to try to turn underneath the 21. But the 21, he's been flawless almost lap after lap after lap. He just needs to be perfect. 4 more laps, 8 more corners.
The other thing is, too, for Stephen T, and these cars, they don't spin out really easy. You get into that back bumper. Stephen T isn't a regular in this series. He comes out once in a while. Does he take the bumper to that 21 car with 4 or 5 to go here? You can see him looking for different lanes to try and get this pass done. You know, Stephen T, when he's on your bumper, he's not just riding there, reading the newspaper. He's observant, and he's looking for spots to get his run, right? He's a technician, man.
He's absolutely studying right now. But I think whenever he gets a run like that, just because, like we mentioned with Zimmy, I think when you get the run here, you got to take it. No matter if it's inside, outside, gets the car tight, hits the wall, that's going to really help out.
The arrow tight there.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's a fine line here between, like, the valuable draft type air that's just speeding you up and the dirty air. I don't know where that fine line is, but you feel it in the car. And, hell, we saw it with the eye test right then.
We just caught Aero Push on camera, maybe for the first time in sim racing. Proof right there that he ran the same line. Look at O'Danick trying to take his line away. That's smart. He saw that in his mirror, and he's like, well, I'm going to try and give him some more dirty air and get him to push up off the corner.
Lap traffic up ahead. I think that's Alex C.
Here we
Harris.
go.
He is battle for the race lead here.
Oh,
Lap traffic.
no, Alex Harris. I think Alex is out of fuel. He was trying to get down out of the way. Steven's making a move for the lead. I think Alex is out of fuel. I think he was trying to get on the bottom and stay out of everyone's way. Look at this. Look at him trying to turn that car down. It won't turn. He's out of fuel, Tanner.
I don't think so. Final lap, white flag out in the air. Danik all out front. He loves seeing that. Sometimes lap traffic is going to play a factor. Tonight it does. New Hampshire 100. Martin Sports race winner of the season goes to Kyle Danik. Wins the second race of the season after heartbreak of a race last week at Iowa. As man, oh man, those last laps, that was crazy.
Yeah, I think he ran out of gas. They're in the same Discord hanging out together. I'm pretty sure he ran out of fuel. Remember we said to watch the last lap whether they're going to make it. Heartbreak for Stephen T there down on the bottom.
I mean, we got to go back and watch it again. Got to see it again.
He's way behind on pace.
He's not out of gas, though. That's the thing. I mean,
Maybe he's damaged.
He stays out on track. Fine here, just really off the pace.
Yeah, I think he's damaged and just trying to stay down on the bottom here.
He's half throttle here. I think he's just trying to let the leaders by here, bro. I think that's all he's trying to do.
He's cranking it there.
Yeah, he's trying to. He definitely didn't want to be in the way right then, right? That's not what he wanted. I just think a little bit of miscommunication between him and the 17 because they are in the same Discord, right? Something happened right then, obviously, but no matter. We'll interview our top three: Caleb B. Thompson, Stephen T. Johnson. Very unfortunate, but still persevered and finished second. And Mr. O'Danik put it in victory lane after a heartbreak, like I mentioned last week at Iowa. So super excited to see O'Danik put it in victory lane. As I'm looking for Caleb B. Thompson, there he is.
We didn't say much about Caleb tonight, and he comes home in third place, man. I mean, he was a lap down at a certain point, and he's going to have a good story to tell here.
It's a roller coaster of a race that experienced highs and experienced lows and ended on a high. Mr. Caleb B. Thompson, you're live in TSP's booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So to bring that 04 home, bring the 04 machine home in P3 after being a lap down, I mean, we touched on it all night long. Very quiet night, but still had to battle back. Got up there and was trying to get your lap back the hard way. Hell of a run out of the 04 to bring it home. Third place. Talk me through your night tonight, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we practiced really well. I mean, we were up there in top two, 3 in speed, and qualified. Didn't qualify so well. I think we were seventh. And then, that first wreck was second lap. We ended up on our lid. Luckily, we got back on our tires and got to pit road, and I didn't think I needed a fast repair, so I had like 5 minutes of damage. Been my inclination, but so I went back out, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I had to pit under green.
Yep.
And I saw I was a second and a half off, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna catch me so quick." So I pit under green and got myself in the lucky dog position, and then just got lucky.
So we watched Brad Carpenter pit, and then you went down right after him, like the lap after. So initially, I was thinking maybe a black flag as well. So that's good to know that you actually had that much damage where you just had to go down and take a fast repair, huh?
Yeah, I decided to pit under green, use my fast repair. Yeah, no black flags.
So talk to me about those closing laps there. 17 car running up on lap traffic, and then just ultimately chaos, but kind of organized chaos. Y'all single file racing each other hard. What did you need to get up there and mix and mingle with the 17 and the 21?
Yeah, going back a couple cautions there. I think I saw that Alex Harris and I think it was Steven Rogers were battling hard, and once I saw them touch, I just dove to the inside and got around them. And then Zimmy and Zach got together there, and we got up to third. And that was right after that caution, so we went single file. So once we got single file there, I thought it was pretty locked in where everybody was. It's impossible to pass. It's just super hard. You gotta wrecking somebody.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. You gotta rough somebody up, or they gotta make a massive mistake. Well, Caleb, I'm super proud of you for sticking it out, and not only sticking it out, but sticking it to him by finishing P3. Who we got to thank for the 04 car, brother?
Yeah, super happy with the result. Just like thank TSP for broadcasting and the guys down in Race Room 3 for helping me out, making it fun to stick around.
Well, right on, brother. We'll get you back down here. Let's celebrate with your race team. Hell of a job finishing it out, brother.
Thanks, guys.
I made a word up there. Hell job. So we'll bring up our second place runner, Stephen T. John. I'm also going to speak to him, and then we're going to let you have the honors with our race winner. So, Mr. Stephen T. Johnson, you're live in the booth. You got a copy?
How's it going?
Man, I'm just going to ask you what happened. I'm not going to elaborate, just what happened.
The one time I throw a slider in there, there's a lap car there. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Y'all are in the same Discord, too, which is just miscommunication there or something?
He wasn't in the Discord at that time. I saw that there was a lap car there. I just figured that with the leaders coming, he'd be completely off the track, and he was not completely off the track. So, I mean, it's my responsibility to not run him over because I'm the faster car overtaken, but at the same time, it's just, it is what it is.
It's annoying. It's annoying for it to be even in that situation. Now, I will say we went on board with Alex. He was trying like hell. He was half throttle trying to let y'all by on the backstretch, and the way y'all caught him, it was so awkward. And like you said, the first time you were actually attempting, you was like, okay, I got the run. I'm taking it now. Damn, lap car right there. That's a heartbreak, but still, hell of a job to bring it home P2. Talk to me about your race other than that little caveat.
Yeah, Odanik really, I mean, he didn't make a mistake. He kept the car pointed in the right direction. He ran a good line. Tried to cover my line when he had the opportunity to. I was just hoping that I could take that outside when he kept going down in the middle of the back straightaway. I was hoping that I could get to his outside, but he never gave me the opportunity, which was good driving on his part. Definitely,
right.
Something to congratulate him on. But got involved at a lap 1 racing deal. I haven't seen the replay yet, but I thought the other driver came across my nose. But I'll look at the replay. If it was my fault, I'll own it, but I don't think it was mine. But I'll take a look at that. But rest of the race, just trying to take care of the car and pitted to top off at 43 and figured if we had no cautions, then I was able to make it to the end on fuel from there, but then all the cautions came and that threw the fuel strategy out the window. But otherwise it's a fun race. Enjoying these cars are so much fun. I don't get a chance to run them often enough.
Right. Well, right home P2 tonight, brother. Hell of a finish tonight. I know. I mean, it's heartbreak for the way it is, but still great to finish P2. Who we got to thank for the 17, the all black and just white 17. Who we got to thank tonight?
Yeah, just Crooked Line Racing and True Sim Productions, just always putting on great leagues and great broadcasts. And I said I'm not really too upset about it because I didn't think I was going to be able to get the win out of it, but it didn't cost me anything. So it is what it is. It's all good.
All right, on, brother. We'll let you get back down to your race team. Let's celebrate another podium finish for Stephen T. Johnson.
All right, let's talk soon.
All righty, folks. That was Mr. Second Place. And now, after a long awaiting time, I've said it 3 times. I'm going to say it the 4th time before I hand it over to you, Carol. Kyle Odanik, heartbreak last week. Hit the incident limit. Got a black flag. Still battle back. Got him a top 10 finish, I believe. If not top 10, right up there outside of it at Iowa. But came back with a statement victory here tonight. Chris Carroll, the floor is yours. You have the race winner, Kyle Odanik, in the booth.
I got the reigning defending champion, Kyle Odanik, in here. I gotta ask you what you were thinking in the beginning of the race there, Kyle. We saw you hanging out in the top 5, and what was your plan hanging out in 5th there for a long time?
I was actually a little worried. I didn't feel like I had a lot of speed. I was hanging with those guys, but I wasn't really getting runs like everyone else in the top 5. So I was trying to search around and figure out what I was doing wrong, and I'm still not sure what I was doing wrong. I think I just got into a good scenario there.
Well, we saw Steven at the end. You had that black car in your mirror on your bumper there, and we actually caught some real aero push coming off the corner when he was behind you. How bad was that running 5th?
You could feel it. You definitely had to move around, try to get out of the wake of the guy in front of you, but you couldn't move around too much because the bottom lane you would just snap loose on you too, and you'd lose your momentum. So yeah, it's just tough because you're kind of just stuck behind the guy.
Well, you ran a good race out there. We were trying to figure out what was going on with fuel and all that stuff, and ultimately, what do you think got you the win out there?
It was definitely the fuel strategy. We took a risk in staying out there because I think when we stayed out, we were 9 laps short. But we were kind of hoping for some cautions. We knew we weren't going to save that. So cautions went my way, and it was just too hard to pass. So it was worth the risk. And yeah, it worked out.
That's awesome, man. Another win for Kyle O'Danick, Tanner. Who do you got to thank? We'll give you the floor here. You can thank your sponsors and whoever else you want to thank here, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks to all the guys that help. Caleb, Zach, Steve tonight, Scott, Brad. We all work together, and I think it shows. A lot of times we end up at the front, and sometimes we get unfortunate things happening. But they definitely helped me get the win tonight.
Oh, awesome job, man. Congrats on the win, Kyle, and looking to defend your title once again here in the CLR mods.
Thanks, Chris.
Alrighty, guys. So New Hampshire, it has come and it has gone. And actually, I have the points right now. I'm trying to get them where I can pull them up in here. Larry Belsky escaped with the points lead once again. Give me just a second. We'll get it pulled up here. So the points, I mean, they stand. It's gonna be hard to get it perfect because I am on a wide screen or going from a wide screen to this. Larry Bell escapes out of New Hampshire race number 2. With the championship lead currently, 75 points. Kyle O'Danick jumps up 12 spots, Carol. 12 spots to take over P2. Brian Zimmerman, he looks to fall in 1 spot. Chris Clark has fallen 2 spots. So, looks like everybody's right on top of each other here in regards to points. It's going to be a heck of a season. It came down to 3 cars last season. I'm curious to see what it comes down to this season. I know it's going to be a banger. It always is in these tour mods. As Carol, let's see if we can see where we're going next week, and then we'll close up shop here. Next week, we're going old school North Wilkesboro racing next week, brother.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. These cars are hard to pass. There's not a lot of room there, so Kyle's going to have his work cut out for him. He's probably going to have to start from the back. So I'm thinking some strategy and a lot of things for him. And all the other guys. It's a challenging track. The transition there is tough. The cars, the way these cars drive, they're going to be pushing up a little bit. It's going to be a lot of give and take there. And if there's more take than give, we're going to have some problems up there.
I agree. And folks, you hear the music in the background. That means we're getting close to signing out. I want to thank you and send a huge shout out to Mr. Joshua Rutherford over at Mullet Music Productions for providing all the tunes you hear on here, from the national anthem to the crank it up music to the music you hear right now over at Mullet Music Productions. Let's go through our BAM Racing videos top 10 here, and then we're going to close up shop. Kyle O'Danick, Stephen T. Johnson, Caleb B. Thompson. That's 1, 2, and 3. Stephen Rogers, Brandon Mettler, they rounded your top 5 here tonight. Good bounce back night for Mettler. Saw him on his lid earlier. Came back, battled back, persevered, finished 5th. Brad Carpenter's in 6th. Joshua Vermillion 7th. Keith McGillivary. I got it, baby.
He did it, folks. He did
I
it.
got it. I had to slow down, had to think about it, but we got it. He finished 8th. Derek Stanley finished 9th. And old Belsky, Larry Bell, my brother, finished 10th. Walked out of tonight with the points lead once again. Oh, Belsky. Folks, want to thank y'all for tuning in. As always, we'll be back at it tomorrow, Wednesday night, late model stock series presented by Bad Company Racing. We are heading to Thompson tomorrow. It's going to be a very, very unique track for them boys. I'll be live in the booth. Kyle Weldon will be joining me. Hopefully, have Mr. Chris Carroll out on track, maybe going for another race win. Well, Chris, we're signing out, brother. Thank you for joining me as always here on Tuesday night. And until next time, folks, we'll see ya.